August 12th. It rained last night. Not a gentle, cleansing rain, but a relentless downpour that pounded the old shed I'm holed up in. I listened to it for hours, watching water pool in the cracks of the concrete floor. For a moment I let myself pretend it was washing away more than just the dirt. But nothing washes this away. Not the rain, not time, not even forgetting. I can't stop thinking about how it all started, how we let it happen. Back then, there was always a war somewhere. Europe, the Middle East. The news was a constant stream of distant destruction. The Middle East felt like it had been fighting forever, like war was just part of the landscape. But the one in Europe, that's the one that mattered most in the end. It started with Russia. Their leader, his name escapes me now, not that it matters, was hell-bent on making sure history would never forget him. Arrogance, greed, or maybe just spite. Who knows what really drove men like him? He was obsessed with taking Ukraine, so on a whim or a calculated gamble, he invaded. The world responded with outrage, but outrage only goes so far. People sent money, supplies. Governments shipped weapons and made speeches about freedom and sovereignty. Ukraine fought like hell, stubborn and defiant. But wars of attrition have a way of grinding down even the fiercest resistance. And then came him, the candidate I mentioned before, the one filled with anger and cruelty. By the time he was in charge, the war in Ukraine had dragged on for years. People back home were tired of hearing about it, tired of paying for a war that wasn't theirs. So he ended it. Not by helping Ukraine win, but by cutting them off entirely. No more weapons, no more aid, no more hope. All to score points with that Russian leader, as if playing nice with tyrants ever works. Ukraine fell within months. Their cities crumbled, their people scattered or slaughtered. And the world just watched. By then, everyone was too scared of triggering something worse. Russia swallowed Ukraine whole and didn't stop there. One by one, smaller countries were crushed, while the rest of the world stayed quiet, hoping to be ignored. And through it all, he smiled. That smug, hollow smile. I sometimes wonder what breakfast was like in the White House after Ukraine fell. His wife, she was from a small nation like Ukraine. I remember that now. Yugoslavian, maybe? Her homeland fell not long after, swallowed up like the others. Imagine sitting across from her at the breakfast table, sipping coffee, reading headlines about her country burning because of your decisions. Did they talk about it? Did she cry? Did he even care? Maybe she learned long before the rest of us what kind of man he really was. Maybe she'd already made her peace with living in a palace built on ashes. Or maybe she sat there in silence the way so many of us did, choking on things too bitter to swallow but too dangerous to spit out. The fire's burning low again, and I'm down to my last bit of dry wood. I should save it, but the dark feels too close tonight, too alive. I keep thinking about how easily the world fell apart, and how blind we were until it was too late.